Hello guys, welcome, and today we will be reviewing all the formulas that you learned in 6th grade, and that is for rectangle, square, triangle, trapezoid, and circle. So buckle down, it's going to be a very brief review. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So here's the rectangle. Hopefully you all remember what it looks like. And to find the area, we do length times width or base times the height. Now that one should be very easy to remember because we have been learning it since elementary. Alright, moving on. So what other shape has four right angles? Of course, a square. So can we use the same area formula? Of course, it's base times height or a square. Go ahead and practice. Go ahead and find me the area of those two shapes. Hello, let's go. Good, now you're working. Alright, so here is the answer. So here we have, again, 10 times 17, which will be 170 square meters. And for the square, we do 14 times 14, which it will give us 196 square meters. I don't think I need to show you guys work for this. Okay, good. I didn't think so. All right, moving on. All right, so what happened if we cut the triangle in half? What shape is made? All right, so you can see obviously we have two triangles. So then what happened to the formula? Remember the formula for the whole rectangle was the base times height. So what do you guys think happened to the formula? Good. Now the whole formula is split in half. So we divide the whole formula by 2. So go ahead and practice and find me the area of this triangle. Let's see if you can do it. Okay, so this one I'm going to actually do with you guys. And here you can clearly see that this is the base and this is the height. Now, if it was a full rectangle, we will just do base times height. So that will be 14 times 5. But because we only have half for the rectangle, so we go ahead and divide this by 2. Another way you can say this is half for the base times the height. Or you can say half of 14 times the height, which is 5. So that'll be 7 times 5, and we will get 35. Okay, moving on. Hopefully you all were able to do this. And here's the answer. Alright, so far we've reviewed area for a rectangle or square is base times height. And if we split the rectangle in two, we get a triangle, and the formula will be base times height divided by 2, or half of the base times the height. Alright, so now let's take a look at a parallelogram. So what happened if we slice off the slanted parts of the ends? Basically, we cut these two off. Alright, so if I take this little piece and add it on the other side, oops, what shape do we have? It is a rectangle. So again, we will end up with the base times the height. So be careful, the height has to be perpendicular from the base, just like the side of a rectangle. So we want to make sure we get the height, the actual height, not the slant height. the actual height, the line that is going straight down. And one thing you need to remember is that the height is perpendicular to the base. Okay, so let's not worry about really a rhombus. It's the same thing, which will be base times height. A rhombus is a parallelogram that all its sides are equal and it does not have 90-degree angles in there. So we use the same formula, base times height. Go ahead and find me the area of those two shapes. All right, welcome back, and here is the answer. So this one again, very straightforward. 9 times 3, we get 27. 4 times the height, 2.7, we get 10.8. Now, let's try something new with the parallelogram. Earlier you saw that you could use two trapezoids to make a parallelogram. So here we go. We have a parallelogram and we cut it and we get two trapezoids. So to get the formula of the whole parallelogram, it will have been base times height. Divide by 2. That'll be for the trapezoid. But here, the bases are not equal, so we have to take something else. Alright, so here, when we take the base, and then we have base 1, base 2 is right here, and base 1 is right here. So we can basically do base 1 plus base 2, which will give me the whole length of the bottom piece times the height. But that will give me for the whole parallelogram. So again here we have to divide it by 2. So the formula will be to do base 1 plus base 2 and then multiplied by the height and then divided by 2. Hopefully your 6th grade teachers showed you guys these, but this is just a refresher. That's why I'm not really spending a lot of time on it. So here's the formula for trapezoid. Go ahead and copy it down. Alright, your turn. Go ahead and try this. So here's a trapezoid. We have 3. The first base is 3. The second base is 11. And we have the height is 5. Alright, and here is the answer. But let me go ahead and work this one out. Alright, so first thing you really want to do is to write down your formula, which should be the height times base 1 plus base 2, and then we divide it by 2. Okay, so here the height here is 3. Sorry, 5. So here the height will be 5 times 3 plus 11. And then we divide this whole thing by 2, and we end up here with 5 times 14 divided by 2. And that's so that will be 70 divided by 2, and we get 35. Again, remember, whenever we are dealing with area, your unit will be always be to the second power because we are dealing with 2 dimensions. Alright, so far summary, we have base times height will be formula for rectangle, square, and then when we divide it, we get the area of a triangle when we divide it by 2. Now we turn it into a parallelogram and we still get the same formula. So base times height is used for parallelograms and rectangles and squares. By the way, a square is a rectangle. And when we divide it by 2, we get the area of a triangle. Now, if we split it into a trapezoid now, we get a new formula, which is base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. Okay, so here we have a circle. Let's go ahead and say that The diameter here is 4. So that means the radius, which is this little piece here, will be 2. Please do not confuse the two. The diameter is the big one and the radius is the small one. And here we need to find the circumference. So it will be, to find the circumference, we can use two formulas. 2 pi r if we know the radius, or we can do pi d if we know the diameter. Now for the area, we need to do a C equal, to find the area, now there's only one formula that we can use. It's pi r squared. And here to find the area, we need to be very careful that we are using the radius. And this will be A equal. And to get the area, we will do pi times the radius, in this case is 2 to the second power, which is 2 times 2, and we will get 4 pi. 4 times 3.14. Now, most of the time we use 3.14 for pi, or 22/7. Now, to find the circumference, now we have a choice. We can use either one, but I'm going to use pi d because it's less complicated since I already know the diameter. So it's going to be 3.14 times 4, or 4 pi. Okay, so that was it for today. Hopefully this wasn't so bad, and we will be doing a lot of practice in class. See you guys then. Have a good one. Bye bye.